Hi everyone, welcome back to Barcast TV. It's April 8th, 2025. Today we have a 1v1 match featuring Alt F4 Ubivatar versus Blodir, played on Aurelia. So we see Blodir playing as the Blue Armada commander, and I'm sure Alt F4 is playing Armada, but he's not, he's playing Cortex. It's interesting. I'm wondering why he chose to do this. I thought to dig up some of his replays and cast one of his matches because, since the recent balance patch, I'm sure he's been on a tear. Just he was getting practice playing Armada bots. Before it was easy to play, you could just ape pawns at your opponent. But we'll have to see what he chooses to go with here. See Blodir opening bots. This is the spawning position I do on this map. Seems pretty nice. I'm not really sure how to play this map, to be honest, but that's why we watch 1v1s, right? Here we go. He must have done this to play incisors, which do fairly well against pawns. I mean, better than grunts, right? So we'll see. Of course, in classic Alt F4 fashion, he has a very elaborate build queue. And yeah, just continue to add on wins. So, while this game's getting underway, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's been commenting on my last video. If you haven't checked it out, it's, me showcasing Autopilot's take on scaling E and making energy storage rather. So if you haven't checked that out, go take a look. And as always, thanks for liking the video, subscribing, leaving a comment. Really appreciate it. So what do we have here from Blodir? Looks like 2 cons first, like that, nice and greedy. The Alt F4 made a couple of scouts first. This is kind of reminding me of how Inda Club started on this match, but Scout's gonna come in here, try and find some damage. Barely see it. He's got 1 mechs, okay, so that's really not bad, but I think this is gonna get shut down here as soon as these, this pawn shows up at the front. But the single scout coming through might find some damage. Little rascal. So these pawns and grunts are just pawns, and ticks are shooing away those scouts in the mid. Looks like Alt F4 try to tag one of those mechs right there. It's hard when you can't get the flanking damage. It's a lot easier to take down the mechs when you rotate around to the other side. A little bit of a scuffle here in mid. First incisors out. This should help Alt F4 shut down this pawn that's coming across the map. Yeah, he's gonna shave off that HP and get the rascals behind it. Finish tagging that off. Looks like on the other side of the map, that rascal was taken care of, but no remaking of these mexes. That's a little sus. He's low here, and the spectators, the who's who of spectators, yeah. So a single incisor coming across on this side. You got a pack heading down mid here. Sucks when your scouts get too far forward, you lose your vision. Looks like this incisor is gonna get taken out. Single rascal is gonna get through. You might get one of these mexes. We'll see. Really gotta get to the other side. Get that flanking damage. So close. 8% health. Still have these tanks in mid though to contend with, so it's fairly close to the factory. Yeah, actually here, nice call. Louis Vader coming out with the mine layer here. Super strong unit. I know they recently nerfed the mines, but still, it really puts like a psychological effect on your opponent. I really believe it. Also can repair, can lay mine or lay walls, and the perimeter camera. So pretty cool to see. I'm wondering if that's gonna let him just rotate with all of his tanks around to the other side of the map and get a nice strong push. See, we have 6 pawns here. Kind of holding down mid. And yeah, just as I say, look at this. Yeah, moving all the tanks to the side. Now, granted, that might be to deal with this single pawn. That gets... Oh, it doesn't go down. Wow. 41 HP. See, this incisor is going to get cleaned up on the other side of the map. You really have to bring scouts with these. I know they recently buffed the line of sight, but you really have to bring scouts with your army to keep track of where those pawns are at. Take a look at these main bases. Blodir is going for a Centurion, looks like. Is working on his first construction turret. It's going to be scaling wind after that, notably outside of the range of the wind turbine, or construction turret. Meanwhile, Alt F4 working on getting his first con turret up. Doing some light wind scaling after that, and getting his energy storage, as we can see. Here we go. What is this? 416 metal versus 1,000. We'll have to see how well this goes down. Looks like a little bit of the army isn't engaging at the same time, but yeah, incisors do really well against pawns. And even keeping the scout alive is really nice. Yeah, I don't think he even lost one incisor there. Line layer rotates around to the other side. Got more energy scaling up as soon as this con finished that mex. Perhaps this could just go over to this side and like continue expanding. There's a lot of mexes over here. But in this stage of the game, you typically see a couple things, like the commander's moving towards mid, and usually the path is like, you know, heading towards here and then to this side, or you see grabbing these mexes on the very right side of the map inside of the water. It's like this Centurion is really going to help shut this down. Actually, this is something I've noticed. Actually, Alt F4 doing himself when he plays core arm pots. But the Centurion does a nice job of kind of stabilizing your unit composition and letting you engage his incisors. And you can see Alt F4 is just not even having it. He's just running right around as fast as he can. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Should I turn this off? Most of the time I end up turning this off, but it's sometimes nice to see players' input on this kind of while they're watching the match. But so this is something I made the mistake of, actually. Let's see, where are some bots at? Yeah, they can traverse up this, no? So that LLT is a little bit misplaced. You kind of have to put it a little farther back, like over here, to protect this expanding con. But we'll have to see. These mines come into action. Okay, one pawn versus one mine. Now he's gonna perfectly navigate around that. Take out the mine layer. Take out one of those mines. Kind of feels like a cleaning up a vulture mine or something like that. Killing it before it detonates, but pretty much they come close to one-shotting the pawns. But I mean, I still think that's good value. I mean, the mine is like 7 metal and just killed a 52 metal unit, so. But here comes Alt F4's commander. He's walking out of the main base. Remaking the mine layer. He's got some pincers moving down the left side. Now, does Blodir see this actually? Let's take a look at the player view. There is a bit of sonar on the commander, isn't there? Yeah, 450 range. So he's going to take out one of those. I guess it's going to make Alt F4 kind of rotate around. Yeah, see, exactly. This is what you need to do, is put that radar, or sonar rather, right here in the water before your commander starts expanding to the islands. I prefer this right side just because it seems a little less risky. I mean, I say that there's like 5 pincers walking around to the other side, but here's where you typically see players built up. Yeah, this nice little arc of LLTs. See the commanders here. This isn't getting any damage done. Sensing a transition. He seems a little light on an army here. I guess it was the 5 pincers on the other side of the map, but so you continue to E-scaling. 1, 2, 3, 4 con scaling win. 3 of them are under con turrets. And no move into medium tanks just yet. Looks like he still has his classic Alt F4Q. Really elaborate. Yeah, and these pincers are just running around the tanks. I guess Blodir wasn't privy to that. Maybe he wasn't watching his sonar. Or excuse me, no, this gives you radar and sonar range. And you can see the sonar range is much less than the radar. I need to find a way. I need to find a way to turn that on. I think it's this circle right here. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, this is going to do a lot of damage. There's like no units here. I guess Blodir's desperately trying to build a turret here. Looks like he went for some gunships of his own, so these are going to do a nice job cleaning up these mexes. They take out mexes super fast. Of course, they're very mobile, but Here come the pincers. We'll have to see how much damage they actually get done. A few wind turbines going down. Looks like this LOT came on just in time, but it is going to get taken out fairly quickly by these pincers. And just enough units in time to take care of this. See these gunships still flying around. It's interesting he didn't fly them to the right side. I guess he was anticipating some kind of anti-air being ready from the commander. Just, you know, being here. He can put up anti-air turrets fairly quickly. But we have fighters out from Alt F4. Reclaimed his vehicle lab. Maybe he'll make some kind of T2 transition here. I can see he's going up to an additional energy storage that helps funds that. And T2 for Blodir. He's reclaiming his lab. I think this should get up pretty handedly. He's got a decent amount of X's. A little bit of reclaim here. Should have the same kind of transition for Alt F4, unless he prepares some kind of bombing run, which looks like it. Yeah, so 7 bombers in the queue. Guess he's going to make use of this air lab while he has it produced. I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up transitioning after that. But yeah, he's got a nice little, you know, bank of fighters here. 10 fighters should be enough to protect his bombers as they come in. Blodir stalling for metal pretty hard while this T2 lab finishes. He's at 66%, so it's going to be a few more moments before that finishes. See this muskrat here securing the island. Blodir even forced to put an LOT here to defend himself against that con. But yeah, the bombing run's almost finished. So 7 bombers, 2 more scouts come out, and then 2 air cons. Something cute you can do on this map actually is use the yeah, using your units up against you. Is using a transport to like pick up these centurions and then fly them to your commander and capture them. I've only really seen one person do that, but yeah, here comes the bombing run. We're gonna have to take a look and see how much damage Blodir gets here. But he scouted all the wind turbines. The T2 lab is up, but I don't think the T2 anti-air is gonna finish in time. No. Nice little bombing run, gets pretty decent patch of the winds, but the anti-air is out. It's targeting the fighters, right? So these bombers are going to get a few more passes. Taking out quite a bit of the winds, actually. Knocking him down, Blodir down to less than 300 energy per second. And he's really still not done getting damage. I mean, if he wants to, might be able to get a few of the mexes, but see, there's anti-air pretty much everywhere, and yeah. That bombing run's over. So T2 transition, T2 air? What am I watching? Is this how he's playing Cortex now? Yeah, and then it goes right into 2 T2 air cons. Okay, maybe this is why he was scaling energy so hard in the first few moments of the game. What is the difference in cost between those 2 factories in terms of metal? I'm actually not sure. So T2 vehicle lab is 2,800 metal, whereas the T2 air lab, where did that? Oh, he reclaimed that air con. Perhaps we'll never know. So this lab finishes. Con's going to come out. Looks like he's choosing just to make 1. I guess that makes sense. You can just tap the mexes, have them be assisted, and fly 2 other mexes. Get those done pretty quickly. It looks like Blodir traded 64% of his HP to clear out this island and the expanding con. Yeah, 2 anti-air, 2 T2 anti-air on either lane here. Really like that. These are like, I think, some of the best mobile anti-air in the game, excluding fighters, of course. The game kind of slowed down a little bit. Looks like Ubivator just made as like few vehicles as possible. He's got a single pounder here, a few stouts. He's got those incisors left over for mid. He's gonna be using his trapper here to clear out the mines. You can actually fight move with these, and it'll, wonder if we can get a shot of the auto attack on it. Maybe he's not. He's just gonna continue laying mines. Okay, never mind. But gunships coming out for Blodir, and the sonar plane, and the torp launch, and the torpedo bombers. So looks like Alt F4 is going for a bit of a snipe here. Not even sure he needs to upgrade mexes. He just needs to dedicate. And like, what do we want? Is this FAF? We're just, wait, how did this get cleared out? Did the bomber clear that out? Oh, is the pincer. Okay. There's one leftover pincer chilling on this island, but yeah, clears out the anti-air. Looks like Blodir is, or excuse me, Alta 4 is going to reveal these gunships. I wonder if he would have been better kind of banking those up till he had enough to snipe the commander. You see how quickly it takes out anti-air. And that means Blodir's commander is going to go into the water, but he doesn't know that there is torpedo bombers on the way as well. Yeah, 2 torpedo bombers coming out. I've actually never seen one of these take care or kill a commander, so we'll have to see. Blodir desperately running back, scrambling to get AA in position here. You need to get like one up on the high ground over here to protect your commander, but is this going to be enough in time? See this AAA, T2AA. Really nice job. Okay, so first torpedo bomber. I mean, he can see this with the cloak, with the scout, right? Yeah, he sees the commander. It's revealed by the scout plane. The anti-air is shooting at these torpedo bombers. This cliff blocking the shots, actually. Oh my gosh. This is going to be super close, but the gunships are shooting at the commander. Okay, the anti-air is here. It's quickly taking out these bombers, but the commander's so low. Oh, he's dodging the torpedoes. 3%. Goes down. Wow. Haven't seen that in a long time. T2 air is killing a commander here. Faster than 20 minutes, so pretty cool little match there. Interesting style from Alt F4, showcasing how to play Cortex on this, dare I say, Armada dominated map. So thanks for getting to the end. If you can, like the video. If you haven't, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next cast. Cheers.